So, hi there, welcome to my live that I'm going to be showing the process from start to finish. As you can see, I've got the blank page. As you can probably see, I'm filming the page, so you won't be able to see me, and I won't be able to see your questions or answer them immediately. So if anything comes up during this live video, just pop it in the comments, and when I've finished, I will go back and answer all your queries because I won't obviously be able to do it right now. And I don't know if any of you will be painting at the process at the same time or just watching. And as we all know, the live videos, you can actually watch them afterwards, so we'll stay in the group for you to go back and watch time and time again in case you get stuck on anything. And for those who would love to be present in the live but can't today, and then maybe will be watching the replay, I should be doing more live videos for other people and other timelines will be able to watch as well live with me. And obviously each time I'm doing it, the painting is going to be completely different, so that's why it's going to be so interesting as well. And just before I start the live, as you've probably seen in the group, I will be doing trainings as well. There's 3 things that can come out of this group. One, if you wanted me to, I can come and do live online workshops with your teams or with friends or whatever, or with, you know, as a make and take. You can have me on the computer on the table with you or with your group, and I can actually run a class with you. You can also train with me to run your own classes so that you can do these by yourselves in the way that we do it. And if you really want to go deeper, and maybe for an energy healer, if you're into coaching, and if you really want to, you know, take this a real step further, I'm actually going to be doing coaching training so that you can really take this tool and use it to help other people through with the creativity, through emotional release. And as we know, this is going to be the perfect way just to take these oils out into the community and just to show just how incredibly amazing and powerful they are that we know. And I think it's, for me, it was when I started painting that I really began to see the power that is these oils, in their intuitive power, that how we can choose the oils that are just so right for us without thinking about it, and also the emotional release that they give through this process. So, thank you all so much for coming here. I'm just so touched, for one, for the support you're giving me in the group, and for being here on this live. It's the first time I've done a painting live, so I'm just so happy and so humbled to share this with you. So I'm just going to show you how my table is set up. The paper, as I've said in the group, not to use thin paper, but this is quite a thick paper, and it's a multi-grain. It's multi-techniques with a grain. It's got a slight pattern on it and smooth on the other side, and it's a thick paper. And this is important because when we paint, we can go in several layers, and thin paper just won't hold the amount of paint that we can actually put on. When I do painting, I can go between 5 and 10 layers quite easily, and it gets quite thick. So I've got a white piece of paper. I've got a table covering because my paint always goes everywhere. I also have my wonderful oils. Most of them, not obviously all of them, but quite a big selection are all there. And I also have my jar of water. I've got a selection of brushes, which I will just show you what I tend to use. I've got the thick flat brushes, which are great for covering large surfaces and having good swoops of paints with them. and I've obviously got 3 different sizes. You don't have to go in all these sizes, just because I've been painting through the years, and you know I tend to have my favourites and what I go for. So I've got 3 different sizes of the flats. And then I didn't realise I've also got 2 or 3 of the pointy ones. This is actually my favourite brush. I don't know why, I just love it. Just so it gives variety in the brush stroke. And then for the bit more of a fun element, I've also got fan brushes. I've got these in a variety of sizes, and these are great. I use this more really when I do my proper canvases for hanging on the wall. They can add just light touches of paints, and they can also make little fan shapes. It's just a different shape, different coverage. And then I've got these little rubber ones that are great when you're building up the layers, because you can scrape the paint away to show the layer that's underneath, so you can actually draw through the paint. And then I also have palette knives, which I use. I probably will use this one especially, because I love this one for spreading out the paint in just a completely different way. And most importantly, I have my hands, because I do paint with my hands, and I will most likely be doing this in the video as well. For those who've never painted before, you know, I would say a couple of brushes, either different height, different widths. But it's nice to have a pointy one, it's nice to have a flat one. And as you get going, as you really think you want to go more and paint more often, then you can go into the more fancy brushes. So just keep to the simple. So they're the brushes. And then to put my paint out on, I use, this is a glass tile. I love it because it's flat. I've got different areas for putting different paints. I can put the cools and the warms, and it just gives me a nice area to work with. You can use a plate. A flat surface is better than those little trays with like little holes in them, little dips in them. I don't find they're very good for really getting the paint out, especially if you're using a palette knife. This just gives me a nice area to work on. So an old tile is absolutely brilliant, and the washable, the flat, and they're easy to put away. And then I have all my paints. So as I said as well in the group, I do love Pebeo paints. These are my favourite makes because they're mid-market, they're not too expensive, they're easy found, especially in Europe. I don't know about in America or elsewhere in Australia. And I just love the colours because they have a lot of, they're quite pearly, they're quite bright colours. And I don't go into mixing because I really just want to go on the spur of the moment. I don't want to be thinking about what colours to make up. I just want to, you know, grab a paint and run with it. So I have all my paints. And then obviously I have our Bible, the Essential Emotions book. So just quite a few people have asked about this book if they haven't already got it. So I'll just give it a quick flick through while we're here so you can actually see. You've got emotions like fear and happiness, and it breaks it down to an associated emotions, physical indicators, and the mental or emotional indicators. So you've got quite a few tables of that. You then have a section on the oils. So you have the oil, and you have the main emotion behind it, a description, and then details at the bottom of how to use and associated oils. I have all those, and then you also have the blends as well. And then at the back, this book is just so amazing, it really is. We also have the body map, so all the body, and then you have parts of the body, things that have gone wrong, not things that have gone wrong, but any problems in the body, any parts of the body, and what emotions are connected to those areas. So, for example, the back, not by chance went to the back because that's a problem I often have, represents feeling supported in life. Emotions of abandoned, controlling and unsupported. So you can actually look at those emotions in the back of the book. So let's say if you go to Abandoned, and then you have the oils, frankincense, myrrh, marjoram, geranium, manuka, and then you can look up each one of those in the actual section to find out if that really sits with you, if that's how you feel. So it's a very, very complete book. So you have all the emotions at the back. It really is complete. And then you also have the table of the oils and the negative and the positive emotions. So it's really, really fantastic. I do have the app as well, so I use them both. And probably what I will do at the end of this session, depending on how long it takes, with the oils that I use, I will have a look in the book and we'll have a look at what emotions that speaks about. And what you'll probably see is when we have a selection of oils, it's like almost doing with oracle cards, that the oils themselves, once we see the emotions, we can actually see the whole meaning of the complete essential oil reading. And I really use my oils like oracle cards or like crystals, so it gives an overall picture of what's been going on in the painting. So I'll have a look at that at the end. And I'm just so excited because, as you know, I have no idea where this painting is going to take me, where it's going to take us. I don't know what it's going to look like. Obviously, I'm not going to be so connected to the painting because I'm talking as well at the same time. So, you know, the emotions won't come out probably as strongly as when I'm painting on my own or in a workshop. But at least I'll be able to talk you through the techniques and you will see how it happens, so that when you paint on your own, you can really have a go at painting. And I will talk you through again through the process, but as I said, we're going to be painting in layers. And the importance of layers is that once you paint a layer and you paint on top of it, your brain begins to realise that whatever it paints, it doesn't matter if it doesn't look pretty, if it's wrong in inverted commas, because it's going to be painted over anyway. And after about 2 or 3 layers, normally your brain starts to kick in and to release that fear of getting something wrong, and it helps you to let go more and more, and that's when the emotional side really starts to kick in. And it's really good to do, minimum 3 layers, and that each layer is like a separate canvas on its own. The layer underneath is not connected to the layer on top. It's like, okay, I start afresh and I paint again on top. So it's not building up one picture, it's having lots of pictures in one. And those layers, as we go through, the bottom layers, even if you can't see them, they are part of the picture, because they give, I'm so used to thinking in French, I can't find English words. They give texture to the layers above, and you can always see parts of the colours below. And that to me is like life, that each part of our life, each like mistake we make, it becomes who we are in the final parts of our life. It all makes up who we are. So on the first part, some people I know that when they see a white paper, especially if you haven't painted before, I see a lot of people in my workshops get very frightened of seeing a white paper, think, oh my God, what am I going to do? All these fears come up from school that they're going to get it wrong, it's going to be a mistake. There is no mistake. So first of all, what I'm going to do, I'm going to choose some 2 or 3 paints. So this one's just come up, so quite a greeny, dark greeny colour. I'm going to put a blob on my tile, a green, and this one. This always comes out my paints every time. So another blue, and I don't know what's that, purple, wow, and an orange. I won't put any oils on the first layer. I want to get going first before we get into the oils. So I've just put a few blobs. You don't need much of your paint. And I'm just going to take a brush, and I'm going to dip into the water to wetten my brush. and then a bit into the paint. And for those who feel really blocked when they see a white piece of paper, one thing you can do is just to make a line, right, a few lines. That way you've connected with the paper and the white is gone. You've already started something. So you can just put a few lines just to say, okay, that's it, I've broken up the white. I can go anywhere I want from here. One thing that is nice to do for those are more probably spiritually orientated, you can sit down, do a quiet meditation, quieten your mind, and maybe set the intention to release what needs to be released for this session today, and allow that to then speak through your painting. Another way, if you're blocked with a paper, is to take some paint and a little bit of water and just wash over. And just wash over the whole area. And then you're good. You've done something, you've got rid of the white, and it doesn't matter what it is on this first layer. The first layer is really about connecting to the paper and having a bit of fun. For those of you who've never painted before, this could be quite a scary experience. And there is no mistake with this. There really isn't. You know, we're not going to be painting masterpieces, as some people do, but it's not about that. And then from then, it's just taking maybe another colour and then just drawing something on it as well. Anything you want. This isn't about painting something. And it's often the case with me that when I start painting, I will often feel the next stroke coming in before I start. Your intuition gets stronger and stronger with this. The more you paint, the more you become in contact with how you feel, and the more your intuition will guide you into what needs to be painted. As you can see, this is not pretty. It actually looks like a plate ready to eat dinner. Probably because I'm getting hungry. So on the first layer, it's just, you know, really about having fun. If you're not painted before, just have fun with the colours and just see where they take you or what they look like, if it's a colour that you like or don't like. And I'm not thinking about this at all. So as you can see here, we've got the slightly cool colours of the blues and we've got the warm of the orange. When you get a cool and a warm colour on the same paper that's wet, it tends to go quite muddy. And that's not a problem. So I'm just going to dry this now with a hairdryer. So that's the first layer. The first layer is often just a total mess, nothing much, just because we're just starting. I'm just adding some white onto my palette and also a pink. And now I'm going to choose the oils. I'm going to close my eyes and I'm just going to go over the oils. 1, 2, 3. Eucalyptus, balsam fir and tangerine. So those of you who've got the emotions book, you can already be going and having a look and seeing what they are. But I'm not going to be bothered too much right now about what those oils mean, because they will create the story at the end. And then, if I just angle this up, I'm just going to put a drop of eucalyptus in the blue. And as we know, these oils are so powerful, we only need a drop. We don't need much more than that. because when you're working with quite a few oils, you can, you know, get quite heady when there's too much of them. And obviously tangerine just pulls out that wild orange. It's very quick. So I've added tangerine to the white. I've added balsam fir to the deep pink, and I've added eucalyptus to the turquoise. And I'm then going to take my biggish brush, wet it again, and I'm going to take the white. And as you see, this next layer has nothing to do with the first layer. I'm just treating this one as a completely new canvas. Not thinking about what I'm doing. And because I'm talking to you as well, it's actually stopping me from getting into my head at all. Sometimes it's just so lovely just to see the effects of the paint. And these layers, you know, it's also about having fun. I should just get, if you've never done this before, just to see what your paintbrush does and have fun with it. There's no right, there's no wrong way. The only way is not to think. If you feel like you're blocking, if you feel like you're really getting stuck and too much in your head and trying to make something perfect, turn your paper upside down. And then you'll see your paper from a completely different way, and it will take you out of your head of trying to get something right. And what often happens on each layer, the strokes are so different. And you can imagine the smells that come up, it's just divine. And this is what makes it such a beautiful experience as well, is that, you know, we're painting and we're inhaling the oils, so we're getting immediate benefit. I'm going to dry this now. Sometimes when the paint is wet as I'm drying it, I like to spread it out so that it helps it to dry and it just gives more texture to the paint. And now I'm going to use a palette knife, so I've just put some paint on there. out some more. I feel like I just want to put some oil on the painting as well. I don't know why. It's not often I do that, but I've just been called to do it, so that's what I'm going to do. As you can see, you know, it doesn't look like anything, although afterwards I tend to see, you know, figures or people in here. And lemons was called to me. I'm going to take some lemon. And now I've got some on my fingers. As I said, you know, sometimes I just get something come into my head, like I know the next step I need to do, and that's all. I don't know where this is going. I just sometimes know that I just have to do something. So it really helps to become more and more in tune with your intuition, and to listen and to go inward. So lots of people have asked me in the group, do I diffuse the oils or put them in the paint? You do put them in the paint, just one drop, and then you can diffuse them after, and to continue with the healing process. So if you can remember the other layers that were underneath, there is no connection to what there is now. It's something completely different. And that's what we need to bear in mind. There's more pink coming in. And again, I'm not thinking about which colours, it just, there's a colour that will just call to me, so I'll take it. I'm going to add some more balsam fir. I actually want to turn this the other way around. If I can actually do it this way, no I can't. This way it is then. So for those of us that are really in our heads, tend to get stuck up in perfection, this is a fantastic way of learning to let go of all that. I know you don't have to be creative, and often you don't need to be at all. It can be a good thing, because people are highly creative or very artistic. They will get into the technique, and it's sometimes just good just to go with it. And within the coaching program, I'll actually help you to find and develop your own style and what makes you unique through this process, because it's all part of it as well, of finding your inner voice through it. And it is such a powerful tool. Again, I'm going to dry. I don't know if you can see, but there's quite a bit of texture actually coming out now, and this is because I've dragged it over when it's been wet, and so we've got a lot of texture coming through. People often ask me, when do we know it's finished? You will feel it. You will either feel emptied, exhausted. You can either feel that every time you try and do something, it's just not working. You begin to really block, nothing, you just seem to get confused. Or it'll often be as well that it just feels harmonious. It would just feel that that's it, you know. I've got to that point where it just, I don't want to add any more. But really to work through at least 3 or 4 layers minimum. It's actually beginning to feel that way. Lots of white coming on. So for those who want to learn to be a workshop facilitator. In that group, we'll be doing lots of group work, so we'll be working together. I should be doing Zoom videos with you to talk through things and experience. You'll also be running little like mini workshops together online to be able to pair up and work together, so you get the real experience of what it's like to set up a workshop, things that can come up. And obviously learning to do this with running a group with it, obviously it's fantastic for your doTERRA business, because you'll be able to use it with your teams to work through any problems. It's a great team building exercises because you're doing something together. It's great for your clients and potential clients to show them how to use the oils and the power of them in a fun way as well. And a lot of people are really to get into creativity. You can also bring children's workshops into this and just do it with a children's range. There's so many ways. And then with the coaching program, I really help you to go deeply, to really help you to coach people, because this is such a powerful tool. And when people do it, especially on one-to-ones, there is so much emotion that comes up, and you know, really about holding space for people and working them through the process and how to use it. And obviously with that, the oils as well, and bringing in energy healing, and obviously my knowledge I'll be bringing to you with emotion code and with emotional release. Very, very complete programs. And I'm just so humbled to have this opportunity now to be able to get this method out and to get this out into communities where people are going to be really needing, I think, more and more creativity, more and more moments to be able to express what they can't express themselves in words, but to do it through pictures and through painting, and just bring back the fun factor into life. You know, just doing a creative workshop with some friends, or say with your team, just to bring the fun back and try something new that can open up people in a way that they never thought possible. So I'm almost feeling like this is almost at an end. And what should be interesting as well, I mean, if you have any comments, put the comments in. If you're seeing, you know, you want to, what you feel in the painting, anything that's coming through, drop it in the comments, anything. You know, I'm open to everybody's feelings in this. This is why I don't often wear nail varnish. Yeah, it's almost feeling done. So I'm just going to try this. So there we go. I will just show you this one I also did yesterday as well. So you can see I get a lot of these vortexes. This is one I did yesterday. There's often this like eye that seems to come up. And then this one today, which actually looks like an angel. So I'm going to have a look in the guide and let's see what oils. So we had eucalyptus. Many of you probably looked this up already. So eucalyptus demonstrates its powerful effect upon the physical and emotional bodies. Eucalyptus oil supports the soul who is constantly facing immune-compromising situations. They may well be for a time, only to return to attracting the common afflictions of the season. Eucalyptus teaches that individuals hold unresolved emotional pain in the heart centre, and specifically in their lungs. It invites individuals to respond to their apparent physical susceptibility by also addressing the underlying emotions behind their symptoms. Eucalyptus addresses a deep emotional or spiritual issue of the need to be unwell or inundated. It reveals patterns of thinking that continually create compromised health. These beliefs may include the thoughts such as, I don't deserve to be well, I'm the sort of person who is always getting sick, or the only way I can get a break is to get sick. Eucalyptus gives individuals courage to face these issues and beliefs. It encourages them to let go of their attachments to being the victim of compromise. It also encourages individuals to take full responsibility for their own health. It bestows trust that one's needs and desires can be met, even if they allow themselves to be well. Eucalyptus teaches how to claim wholeness and health. What I often find with these oils, like with oracle cards, when I do oracle cards, I tend to tune in to the deeper meaning. And eucalyptus already, of the current situation right now, a lot of people are feeling compromised with their immune systems. And there's also something for me as well that goes with this, with the angel as well. Like there's some deeper healing that's going on. I've got tears coming up right now, but this isn't just for me. I think this is a global thing, and a global message of healing through the painting, that how this is actually going to help people through the current climate. But we'll carry on and see what comes up. Tangerine. As we all know, tangerine is for joy, creativity and happiness. Tangerine's strong qualities of joyfulness can lift the darkest of moods. It can assist those who feel cut off from the lightness of heart, often manifested by children. Those who feel overburdened by responsibility would benefit from tangerine's uplifting vibration. It encourages a person to be creative and spontaneous. Creativity can be stifled by an excessive sense of duty or creating rigid standards of oneself. While work, duty and responsibility all have their place, feeling overworked, over-responsible and overburdened leads to a loss of creative energy. Tangerine invites individuals to make room for their creative side and asks that they reinsert fun, joy and spontaneity into their lives. It supports individuals in accessing the abundant pool of creative energy held within spirit. It then assists that energy in flowing through the heart and into physical manifestation. Tangerine teaches individuals to enjoy life by being more abundantly creative and to re-experience the joy and spontaneity they knew in childhood. I shall read through them all and then tell you my overall feeling for this reading. Lemon. The delightful citrusy aroma of lemon oil engages the mind and aids concentration. While lemon supports the emotional body, its major effects are experienced in the mental field. The crisp scent of lemon oil improves one's ability to focus. Lemon is a wonderful aid for children struggling with school. It teaches individuals to be mentally present by focusing on one thing at a time. Lemon dispels confusion and bestows clarity. It counterbalances mental fatigue due to much studying or reading. It restores energy, mental flexibility, and a drive to complete a project. Lemon is especially helpful in cases of learning issues, whether an individual has a difficult time concentrating or feels incapable of learning. Lemon clears self-judgment such as I am dumb, I am not a good student. Lemon calms fears and insecurity while restoring confidence in the self. Emotionally, lemon inspires a natural playfulness and buoyancy in the heart. It assists in releasing feelings of despair and hopelessness by restoring feelings of joy and happiness. Lemon inspires joyful involvement in the present moment by infusing the soul with energy, confidence and alertness. And the last one, balsam fir. I don't know if it's in this book, I have no idea because it's quite new. And it's not. So if you have a look at, I don't know which, if anybody knows what balsam fir is similar to, that would be really great if you could put that in the comments if anybody has any ideas over balsam fir. That would be amazing. I'm just looking at, this is another, we have Siberian fir, don't we? I don't know if it's very similar to Siberian fir. Keep aging on perspective. I don't know if it's another fir that we have. I'll have a look and come back to you rather than making up. So for me, this is almost, like what I was saying of helping people through the current situation. to be using their creativity to bring back the joy in these dark times with COVID, and to really help them to let go of any judgment, to bring them back into the present moment. It's I often find with these oils, that there's a much deeper meaning than just, for myself or for what the book says. I tend to bring out the complete meaning all in one. And this, to me, is about using, as I said, intuitive painting workshops for helping these difficult times and really bringing people back to the joy and wonders of life. So I don't know how you feel, but I'm pretty emptied with this painting now. I've really felt a lot have come out of it. And yeah, I mean, if you have any comments, I will go back after this and go back and answer all. And, invite people into the group. Anybody you think that may be interested, invite them in so that they can see the video. I don't know if you can actually share it out of the group. But certainly bring people into groups so they can watch it. And, please talk to your teams, talk to your leaders. I would so love this to go so far and to help us really spread these oils over and just to get them out to really helping people. So there you go. I don't know if you can, if I turn it around, you can see in different ways. There's so many, it looks like an owl for that side. There's so many different ways we can see this. So as I say, have a go. Don't be frightened of making mistakes, getting it wrong. Don't compare yourself to other people in the group. A lot of people now putting their pictures up, which is just amazing. And it just touches my heart so much that people are now sharing and opening up to this. Put it all out there. Nobody's going to judge you for what it is. Everybody's been incredibly supportive on this. And this is just about opening up to you and discovering who you are through the paint. So have a go, have a play. Whatever that looks like for you, please tell me in the group what it meant for you, what your experiences are. And if you can, take pictures of each layer, because when you come back, you'll be able to look back through and see the journey with the oils, with the paint, with the imagery, and see how it all fits together. And share those in the group. Some of you already are, have begun to share the complete session, and it's just amazing. So thank you so much for being here today. I'm just setting up the private groups for the trainings that are coming out. So as I said, the facilitator training for doing workshop as more as a fun level, just as a social thing or with your teams. And then for those who really want to get into the coaching, the energy healing side, then another group has been set up for that as well, for the intuitive painting coaching. I should be getting more details out there with the pricing. Just please give me time, bear with me. That it's all coming in. I just want to get it right. And, in the meantime, for anybody who's wanted to do the training, start practicing with the painting, really getting a feel for it, because any training you're going to be doing the paints, and you really need to be au fait with that and to enjoy it. So thank you so much. Have a great day for wherever you are. Great day, great evening, great afternoon. Just love and hugs to you all, and thank you so much for your support. And I have no idea how to switch this off now. Typical, isn't it? I can't even take my camera off now. Speak soon. Bye.